Hello! Congratulations, everybody. We got up this morning. I apologize, by the way, if I start coughing or my eyes look weepy. I've been having an allergy attack kind of day. And I also apologize. My neighbors appear to be having some sort of party, so I have no control over that. I closed the windows, closed everything, but it's not something I necessarily have control over because I really need to get this video out. So I've tried refilming it a few times, and I don't think it's as obnoxious as it was, and they've got to live their lives too. So there's that. Now I made this video with a specific population in mind, although I hope it's helpful for everybody, but I made it specifically with student nurses, resident doctors, people in the healthcare industry, because my mom is an RN. She's no longer a working nurse. She used to be a floor nurse, but now she teaches, and so I was hoping maybe she would allow her students to watch this and they would get something out of it. I'm not sure. I haven't told her that, so surprise, Mom. So if you're watching this from my mom's class, hi, I'm Maggie. You don't know who I am, but I am a girl with cerebral palsy, which is a physical disability. If you want to know more about my diagnosis, you can check my diagnosis discussion about CP. But that's what CP means. It means cerebral palsy, in case you're wondering what girl with CP means in the title. So, I'm going to explain to you why I did one of my own pet peeves in my last video, which was say I wanted to inspire you. I think some of the better words would be encourage or empower, but for some reason inspire just came out of my mouth. The disability community, at least as I know it, puts a negative connotation on the word inspire, because we're not. Just think about the stuff that ends up on the news. Either you see, like, disabled person asked to prom, or... Now, would this not be a news story if they were able-bodied? That's my question for you. Because prom, except for this year, happens every year. And I don't think it would be a news story if one of the parties involved weren't disabled. So that's the kind of thing we're talking about. We really don't want to be inspirations to you. We want to encourage you and empower you. And I'm going to tell you a couple of the doozies of the stories that I have in my arsenal to try to drive this point home. Now, the first one, I think I was about 11 or 12, and the Girl Scouts decided to come to our summer camp. I went to a summer camp for people with disabilities, and us girls were probably pretty upset we didn't get to have more camp activities with the boys. I don't know if they got an extra game or an extra swim, but we weren't very happy about it. So we went to Girl Scouts, and I don't think my sister was driving at this point, but she was going to camp with me as a counselor or a volunteer, depending on how old I was at this time, because I really don't remember. So Mom asked us how our day was, and my sister shared that she'd been approached by one of the Girl Scout leaders, who said something to the effect of, "Oh, you're such saints for working with people with disabilities." Now, this hit home for me when I was about 20 and experienced being a camp counselor myself. Oh, there we go, you're not looking at my nose anymore. It's not a saintly job. It's a decent job. You can make decent money doing it for a summer, but it's not a saintly job, and it's not glamorous either. So that kind of hit home. And I apologize if you are a Girl Scout, were a Girl Scout before, love the Girl Scouts, but that's just my opinion on the Girl Scouts. They make great cookies, though, which I can no longer eat because of my diet. Boo! Alright. And then, I think the other doozy that I can recall happened in high school, specifically at graduation. So, at my high school, we had this tradition where if your parental unit loved one person either works at the school or was a previous student of the school, which we call a legacy, they can give you your diploma. So, I'm not going to tell you which one my dad was, because that's his prerogative, but he ended up giving me my diploma, and we're hugging, and I'm in my scooter, because for stamina reasons, and if you want extra information on my scooter, then let me know. My scooter and my other assistive apparatus. Let me know, because I can do a whole separate video on that. But I'm in my scooter, and we're hugging, and the photographer from our local newspaper is snapping away. Not unusual, at least where I'm from. Well, I don't know if it's unusual now because the schools are graduating fewer people, so I don't think it's so much of a news story now. But it was a news story back then. And suddenly, the article comes out, and all I see is this big ol' picture of me in my robes, and my hat, obviously, hugging my dad. And I'm like, why isn't somebody else up there? Because there are a lot of legacy people through various avenues, and they chose my picture? Suddenly, I find that a little suspicious. I would also like to point out that I was not, thank God, given the most inspirational superlative, because it's sort of a, I don't know how to describe how, hopefully this stories did it for you, because it's not really something you can describe. Most inspirational, I did not get that superlative for obvious reasons, which I'm very glad. It's not really a discomfort you can subscribe. Or describe. This is YouTube, that you get the two of them very confused. It's not really something you can describe. But it's just an uncomfortable feeling to be known as inspirational. It's like, if I didn't have a disability, would I be inspirational on my own merit? So I encourage you to use words like empowered, like, you empower me to do something, or you encourage me to do something. I'm really encouraged, and now I'm gonna go off and run a marathon, or whatever. If you're a marathon runner, I salute you. I do not run marathons. I can't even run. So, that's my little spiel for today. And I hope you take it in the spirit in which it was intended. If you ever said, you inspire me, you haven't hurt my feelings, but I'm just trying to educate you on better words to use in the future. So don't get all up in arms or wounded or anything like that. I'm just trying to educate you on better words to use in the future when you meet somebody from the disability community. So that's my video for today. I'm not sure what I'll be giving you for next week. Oh, it's nice and quiet now. I'm not sure what I'll be giving you for next week, but I'll think of something awesome. Hopefully you'll find it as awesome. And I will see you guys later. Bye.